All right, let's go into the next film I can review here. So this is a film I actually got to see 2 days ago, and not a very long review here. I just realized how short the review is that I posted. But the movie Trap, this is the new film. I say new film, newish film from like a month ago maybe at this point. I honestly don't know. It's M. Night Shyamalan, so you know what that means. It's going to be a film about a twist. But here's the big twist when it comes to the film Trap, and don't worry, it's really not spoiling the film because this was already put out in the trailer, okay? The big twist is that the guy who has the daughter he's bringing to this concert is actually a serial killer. And he's the one who's being put into this trap that they've decided to set at this pop concert. And everyone's in on it, apparently, including the merchandise salesmen. The people who sell t-shirts at this event also just know everything that the FBI is doing. And let's just say, yeah, I think this movie is stupid and ridiculous. But at the same time, I have at least one positive thing to say about it. So, first off, I gave it a bogus 35% score. And the only reason why it's as high as 35% for me is because of Josh Hartnett, okay? So definitely glad that I missed this film in theaters, as it seems to be nothing more than an attempt by M. Night to give his daughter a platform to increase her brand and name recognition. My score for this film is only as high as it is because Josh Hartnett gives an amazing performance that is worth noting, and I still hold to that. He did great in the film, he was very entertaining, and he did a good job playing a crazy guy losing his grip on reality, struggling with a clear OCD condition that is kind of feeding into his persona as a serial killer. And I thought that all that stuff was very effective. I thought all that stuff worked very well. He did a great job with it. Some of the other actors that are supporting him, like his family, for instance, are okay. I forgot just how old Alison Pill got. That's the woman who plays his wife. I remember seeing her in a show on Broadway. I remember when she was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. She was the drummer in the band, basically. So you all know who Alison Pill is. Yeah, I was like, oh man, I didn't realize how old she has gotten, but that's what time does. And again, that's just kind of a random segue there. The point is, she was okay. She was fine in the film. The real takeaway, though, is Josh Hartnett. A story that could have been great, but the big twist is given away by the trailers and too easily in the film itself. Too much of the film is watching and listening to M. Night's daughter performing instead of developing something else. On top of that, her acting, especially towards the end, is horrendous. All in all, this movie is lazy, predictable, nonsensical, poorly written, and honestly, I could go on. If you want to see Hartnett give a great performance, though, at least there's that. And I would say, yeah, this is, I think, a film worth watching on streaming for free, not paying anything for it. Would not pay a dime for this movie because I don't think it's worth it. And it's hardly worth your time. As I said, the only reason why you would ever want to waste any time on this film, on this project, would be simply to support or at least to see the performance of Josh Hartnett. When I say that this movie honestly just feels like a self-promotion for M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, there are several sequences lasting many, many minutes. It felt like almost like a quarter of the movie, where it's just nothing other than shots from the crowd, like from where Josh Hartnett and his daughter's character are, watching the concert. Remember, the concert is real-life daughter of M. Night performing as a pop singer, with the costume changes and the design and all the dances, and it was just very, very annoying and very, very cringe to boot. I cannot say I recommend this film less than much else this year. I know I'm giving it like a heinous review and I gave it a bogus score, but again, I think that's just how good Josh Hartnett is in the movie. And there are a couple other elements that I definitely think show that M. Night still has some skill as far as a visual filmmaker. Unfortunately, he's just lost his talent as a writer. I think he got so obsessed with trying to create so many different twists and elements of twists in his movies that that's just now become who he is. I remember when the film Old, for instance, came out not too long ago, and there was a twist that happens with that movie, and it was just so predictable and just so by the numbers and also just so poorly told that all you could wonder is, man, how is this guy still being greenlit to make these movies? He's obviously being given tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions, when you add all of these things together. And this is the kind of content that he gives us. I know that this is definitely a movie that has a lot of mixed reactions to it. Right now, in fact, the audience score with 39 voters, actually, The 39 people, that's a very large number on the Criticalist platform, by the way, has this film at a 63% rad score. It was actually getting very close to creeping into the most excellent on average. My score, I think, bumped it down a little bit, and that's why there is at least one downvote for the score. But you've got, again, a lot of decents. You've got some rads on there, some decents, a bogus. So thank you, Johnny Talks Hoarder, for being honest there. Another decent. You've got a bogus, which I think is absolutely correct. And the more I think about this movie, honestly, the more I hate it, because it really is. Again, the people who are giving this most excellent scores, I don't know what y'all are smoking. Obviously, you can enjoy whatever it is that y'all want to enjoy. I can never take that away from anyone. But what I can say is that this movie, not so good. Again, if you want to see M. Night's daughter being showed as a pop star, and that takes up a quarter of the film, hey, more power to you. But that's about all you get, which is not much. Now for a huge special shout out to all of my Chosen of Valhalla members, starting off first with my people on Patreon, Father Luca Illich and Miss Martin Muses. Check out her YouTube channel by the same name, Miss Martin Muses. Also to my Subscribestar people, Matt317. Check out his Twitch channel by the same name, Matt317. And also to the K-Man. Check out his website, xtheboundaries.co. And lastly to my YouTube member, Mr. Roy. Shout out to you, good sir. And if you want your name shouted out at the end of every live stream and video, check out the top link in the video description below where you get access to that. Also, you get access to a plethora of other things. You get your name listed at the end of every live stream and video, like you saw in those names that came up before this video started. And also access to a giveaways channel that I host over on the Discord server where I give away 4Ks, Steelbooks, Blu-rays, all kinds of stuff. So check that out if you're interested in that. Also, I have an exclusive podcast that I hold at least once a month, and it's always a good time, and you get extra bonus content with that also. So if any of that sounds interesting, again, check out that top link in the video description below. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful rest of your day, a blessed August, and as always, God bless.